see how we get on today. We haven't been able to do this for a while because we've not really been feeling up to it, have you? So see how you get on today, see how your pointing is. There. Just for practice, let's just do your name to begin. C H, very good. 1 over R I and S. Very good. That's not too bad. Sometimes you were just a bit like one off, but wasn't too bad at all. So, just while we haven't done anything for a while, I think we best do something a little bit more structured than normal. So we're going to do a little session, and we're going to talk about the Victorian Temperance Movement. Temperance, A-N-C on the end. So the age that we're talking about is what era is it we're talking about? V I C. Good. Keep it going. V I C T and O and keep it going. R. We're just getting into the flow. I. Touch the A and N. Yeah, we're talking about the Victorian age. Now, and we're talking about the temperance movement. Temperance isn't a word that is commonly used, really, is it, in our language, our modern day language. So I wonder if you could make a guess at what it might mean. It's spelled temper and then A-N-C-E on the end. I wonder if you could take a guess. What might temperance be something to do with, or what might it mean? I is I-S. Good. Keep it going. I like it. I-S. Come on. You finish that biscuit and then we can concentrate just on doing this. So, temperance means what? And you put is, go on, now you've finished eating, is, I, T, is it, T, O, to, D, go on. D-N wouldn't make sense. D-O would make sense. Is it to do? Is it to do? You might need a drink to wash those biscuits out of your mouth. Is it to do? Go on. Is that R or W? W I T H. Is it to do with? Is it to do with what? B E B E. Is it to do with B E? Nice sitting. the M would be G. Is it to do with being? P. After the P, A. P, A. P, A. T. I. E. N and T. Is it to do with being patient? Well, that's a very good guess, really. I suppose you could think temperance, it's like not losing your temper, isn't it? And being patient. So you're on the right lines. What it actually means is moderation, and voluntary self-restraint. So actually, it is something really, to do with being patient, isn't it? Voluntary self-restraint. What would that mean to you, voluntary self-restraint? Voluntary self-restraint might mean C-O-N-T. Go on. After the T would be, that was an impulse. R. Go on. O. After the O would be O. Touch the O again. O and L. Voluntary self-restraint would mean C-R-O. C-O-N-T-R-O. Go on. After the O. L. Yeah, you did an L already. L. After the L. I. N. G. Controlling of. Controlling of. What it means to you. Voluntary self-restraint would mean controlling of. M. Y. My. Don't use the pencil, that might be faster. I. M. After the M. Very good. P. I-M-P. Good. U. L. Good. Go on, I can see it's hard for you, but I'll help. S. After the S. Impulse. E. And. After the E. Control of my impulses. Yeah. Controlling of my impulses. So yeah, sometimes you get an impulse for a movement, sometimes like that one? Oh, you give me a kiss, that was alright. Sometimes though, impulsively, like we saw, your hand goes up into your mouth, doesn't it? So that's an impulse. If you were exercising voluntary self-restraint, you'd be stopping yourself from doing that. Although I understand that it's not easy for you, and we do have to really help break that pattern. But that's a good example of how it could apply to you. Now then, in the context of the theme that we're talking about, the Victorian Temperance Movement, temperance in this context means abstinence. I always forget whether it's me or I. Abstinence from alcoholic drinks. alcoholic drinks. Abstinence from alcoholic drinks. Yeah, that's fine. Did you know that? Did you know? Had you heard of that before? No? Okay. So, are you aware of any people or any groups that abstain from having alcohol? Are you aware of any already? M-A-Y, what would make sense? We'll move that hand out of the way and I'll hold the board a bit lower for you. M-A-Y, B, maybe, very good, maybe, S-O, S-O-M-E, some, R-E, very nice, R-E-L-I, after the I, you're right, R-E-L-I-G-I, after the I, O, N and S. Very nice, that was a nice sentence. Oh, that's an impulse. You're going to exercise voluntary self-restraint and take your hand back down to there. Take it down. There. Voluntary self-restraint. You're going to self-command yourself. I don't need to put my hand in my mouth. Okay, so, what did you say? Maybe some religions. Yeah, you're right. I'll have to have a double check and see which ones, but just off the top of my head, I think that Muslims don't drink. I definitely know that Methodists don't drink. I think Mormons don't drink. There's quite a lot of religions that don't drink any alcohol at all. Why do you think that might be? Why? Why do you think they might think that alcohol... Why would alcohol be a bad thing? Why? I-T-it M-A-K, that was an accidental Q, E and M-A-K-E, just your opinion. It makes, we'll just do a couple of words at a time. It makes, we're saying, why do you think that some religions might think that alcohol is a bad thing? It makes P-O let's try this. Go from the P again. P E O, good. After the O, P and L and E. It makes people, that's an impulse again. Self-restraint, take your hand down. Good, see? Very good. It makes people M-A-K-E, makes people, make P, okay, O, very nice, O, P-O-O, R, it makes people make poor. D, oh yeah. D, E, C, nice. D, E, C. What finish the word? D, E, C, I. What? S, I, O. This makes sense. N and S. Very nice. It makes people make poor decisions. You're right, you do see people's judgment becomes quite poor when they've had too many alcoholic drinks. They might say things or do things that often they regret later. So yeah, that might be one reason why religions feel that alcohol isn't a good thing. If it doesn't enable you to use your mind properly, then you can understand that. So, let's have a little look. So anyway, back to the Victorian temperance movement. This began in about the 1830s, and it did run right the way through into the 20th century. And basically these kind of societies, temperance societies, set up, and they set up to persuade people to abstain from drinking. And they persuaded millions to sign pledges. Pledges. And these pledges, here's an example of one. It says, let me read it. I do agree that I will not use intoxicating liquors as a beverage. I do agree that I will not use intoxicating liquors as a beverage. So they were asked to sign P, L, E, P-L-E-D, G-E-S. Yes, they were asked to sign pledges. Look at that. You stopped. Very good. I just touched your leg to prompt you to take your hand down, and you were able to do it. So you just tell yourself, oh, I'm going to take my hand down today and just pop it on my leg. And if I get the temptation to lift it up, then maybe I can stop it. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to do a little pledge. You're going to make a pledge. I'm going to ask you if you'll sign this pledge. So, what was this one? It says, I do agree that I will not put my hand in my mouth. Let's read it. I do agree that I will not put my hand in my mouth. Show me the word agree. There. Show me the word hand. There. Put your hand here. handprint. There. There's your hand. Now then, shall we sign the pledge? Let's do a C for Chris. Hold. Hold the pencil. So we're going to do a C, just round like that. Round like that. C. Very good. Oh, remember your pledge. Okay, so we'll put this pledge here so you don't forget. There it is. I do agree that I will not put my hand in my mouth. So if you get the urge, you put your hand there instead, on top. Okay, so why do you think that that it was important for people to sign a pledge? Why? I-T-M-A-K-E. It makes. So I sign. It makes. Lift your elbow. Lift that elbow so you can point. Makes. Very good. Go on. Makes. It makes it seem. M-O-R-E. More. S. E. R. I. O. After the O would be all the way. All the way. You're there. Go on. Just move one over. You're down by the Q. I think you want the U. S-E-R-I-O. After the O would be. Touch the O again. O and U and S. Yeah, very good explanation. It makes it seem more serious. Yes, when you sign a document, it's like almost like a legal agreement. Right, I've made this pledge, I've got to stick to it. It makes it seem more serious. And it was interesting because there was actually a children's youth organisation that was called Band of Hope. They were the ones who came up with that pledge. I do agree that I will not use intoxicating liquors as a beverage. Now, the reasons that they felt so strongly about this was that in these times there was something called public houses, which had grown up and developed, and there was lots and lots of public houses in Victorian times. We shortened that name today. We don't call them public houses, we call them, what would be a shortened version? P-U-B-S. Yes, today we call them pubs. And there were lots of public houses, basically places where people could go and meet and socialise, but the habit was that the pubs all revolved around alcohol. So then it becomes a little bit of a habit. If I want to go and socialise with someone and have a chat, I'll go to the pub. And when I go to the pub, whenever I go there, I'll have alcohol. That was an impulse to stand up, and you've come back down again. Right, so people were having excess amounts of alcohol, even children. And there was the belief that this was causing lots of social problems, and the belief that if they could stop people having alcohol, it would decrease crime, it would make families stronger, and it would improve society. So just give me one of those things. D, E, C, R, E, S. Decrease. C, R, I, M, E. Very nice. Decrease crime. What do you think? What's your opinion? Do you think that reducing the amount of alcohol that people have would decrease crime? What do you think? D, E, D, E, P, E, N, D. Depends. O, N, on. Depends on. So your opinion on this depends on H, O, W, how, M, very good, M, look, see, you stopped, that was good. You remembered your pledge, M, V would make U, yeah, C, depends on how much, A and L and C and on how much, A and L and C and O and, go on, touch it, H and O and after the O, always finish your word, go on, L on how much alcohol, depends on how much alcohol, A, P, E, R, S, O, N, person, H, A, as, H, A, D. Okay, depends on how much alcohol a person has had. Or maybe if they've just had a small amount, it wouldn't make a, just one drink like Mum has, a glass of wine, and it doesn't make me angry or commit any crimes, that might be fine. But maybe if you've had an excessive amount, then if we could stop that, that might decrease crime. Good. Okay. Anyway, so how did they go about influencing people? Well, if you were going to run a campaign, let's just say, to try to get people to abstain from alcohol, or a campaign even for anything really, what would you do? What sort of things might you do if you were going to try and persuade people? What sort of things might you do? G, O, go, O, N, go on, T, V A N D and T E. I think that was L and tell. A B O. Very nice. A B O. Keep this flow going. Go on TV and tell A B O U. T. Tell about T H E the D A N G. After the G, I've got hold of this hand. Go on, after the G, E R S. Okay. So you might go on TV and tell about the dangers. Any more? T O 2 H E A L T H to health. A N D. Go on TV and tell about the dangers. That's good, you put your hand there. Very good. To health and T H E and the P R. Oh, good. I got hold of it. P R. After the R would be O B L E M S and the problems. O of A D. Is that D again? I. Well, I A D D I C T I O N. Okay. And the dangers of addiction. Oh, right. Of course, one of the storylines on the programme that I watch at the moment on Coronation Street, there's an alcoholic on there, isn't there, Peter? So that's showing what the impact of becoming addicted to alcohol is, and it's something that can just creep up on people. They might just start off socially having a drink, think it's fine, then it gets to be a habit where you're having more and more, then you find you have to have it every day, and then almost you feel that you can't exist without it. What are the health dangers of alcoholism? D A M A G E. Damages. T H E the. It's a verb. Damages the. L I and B and E and. Yeah, the big health danger is it damages the. That's right, you put your hand there. Liver. Oh, that hand there. Go on, tell yourself. No? Alright, that one first, then the other one as well. There. There. Take one down first, and then you can always put that hand on top of that one. Yeah. See? And as soon as your hand comes out of your mouth, your whole body goes calm. Yeah. There. Just remember the pledge. I do agree that I will not put my hand in my mouth. Now you're going to do the best that you can not to do that, and I'll try and help you. So yeah, so we were just talking about the health dangers, how it damages the liver. Yeah, that's a storyline that's going on in Coronation Street, isn't it, at the moment, where we're seeing Peter went to the hospital and they said that his liver had been damaged so much that he'd probably have to have a transplant. And then he felt guilty because there's other people waiting for transplants who haven't brought this upon themselves just through drinking, you know, through other genuine sort of health reasons. So there is a, you know, there's almost a moral consideration there to make. Should we be giving priority to those people with problems with their liver caused by no fault of their own, you know, or how do we prioritise it? I don't know. Have you got any views on that? Any views? It is H. It is H. Go on. A. R. D. It is hard. T. O. 2. S. E. S. E. L. E. C. T. It is hard to select, yeah. It is hard to say. It is very hard to make the decision. I suppose you just have to see if there's a particular, because again, it might be that there might not be an actual match for the person whose, you know, problems haven't been caused by alcohol. Very hard to make that decision. Okay, let's just get back to what we were talking about there. We were talking about the Victorian times. And so you said that if you were going to do a campaign to influence people, you'd go on TV. Obviously, in Victorian times, there wasn't any TV, so they had to rely on things like printed pamphlets or leaflets, posters, and also they would do like marches, holding out posters and so on. So they had to try and influence people in other ways. And they created as well social groups. And the social groups were really important, if you like, almost to kind of compete with this idea of the only place that you could socialise was a pub or a public house where they sold alcohol. So an interesting little fact with these social groups is that the people who all had a common interest, i.e. not drinking alcohol, could meet together and do things together and go on trips, leisure trips. An interesting fact is that one of the first organised trips was in 1841, and there were 500 people went. They were all members of this social group, and they went on a day trip that had been organised, and the day trip was from Leicester to Loughborough. Why you'd want to go to Loughborough, I don't know. I would have thought a trip to the seaside would be better. And guess who the organiser was? The organiser was a man called Thomas Cook. The man was called Thomas C-O-O-K. Now then, have you heard of Thomas Cook today? Have you heard the name Thomas Cook? Sometimes it's advertised on the telly. it. So Thomas Cook, it. What is Thomas Cook? It is a O. Oh, you want off T R A T R A. You're there. V E and L. It is a travel A. That's good. Yeah, that's where you're going to put your hand. A. After the A. G. E. And O. N. And T. It is a travel agent. I said, have you heard of? And you said, it is a travel. Yeah. In the UK, it's one of the major travel agents that organises package holidays and flights all over the world, apart from when there is a major global lockdown, of course. So yeah, from that one trip that was for people, members of the Temperance Society, it must have organised then more and more trips, and then probably thought, I'm quite good at organising these leisure trips, I'm going to do some more, and then made a whole business out of it. So that was good. It just shows you from one little idea how things can grow. I like that. So again, as I said to you, so they formed these social groups to kind of compete against the public houses, the pubs. This idea of pubs was so entrenched in Victorian society as meeting places that they realised that they had to prove that it was possible to socialise without alcohol. Possible to socialise without alcohol. So they decided to open their own bars called temperance bars. Temperance bars. And in these places they sold non-alcoholic drinks like cordials, sarsaparilla, dandelion and burdock, and one very popular one was Coca-Cola. There were also milk bars, and the milk bars sold hot and cold milk and hot chocolate, things like that. So what would today's equivalent of these places be? C O F F E, and after the E would be another E. Coffee. S. You could call them. Yeah, you could call them coffee shops maybe. Come on, go H. Touch the H. H. Touch the O. Touch the P. And touch the S, just for practice. Coffee shops, yeah, today. Oh, hand. I could feel that coming. I could feel it. And there. So the equivalent today would be coffee shops. Can you name one? Can you name one? Popular one today? A popular coffee shop today would be C O S T. Costa's one, yeah. Costa. Got one in Sutton, haven't we? There's Costa. There's Cafe Nero. I've forgotten what the one is that we've called it. It might just be called coffee shop that we go into when we can anyway. But these are generally, the coffee shops are generally sort of only open daytime, but the temperance bars would be open evenings as well. Until recently, there was only one remaining temperance bar in the UK, a place called Fitzpatrick's in Lancashire. But now there's more that are opening. It's become quite trendy, really. There's one called The Brink in Liverpool that's opened. And why do you think it might be popular nowadays to have bars where they don't serve alcohol that are open in the evenings? Why popular now? M-A-N-Y, many. P, you are E, O, P-E-O, P, U, L, many people, D, after the D, R, D-R-M wouldn't make sense. D-R, you stopped yourself, you controlled it. You did, you kept your pledge. D-R, I, V, many people drive, yes. So we said why popular? Many people drive. Yeah, so if I go out to meet my friend, I normally drive, and I don't have an alcoholic drink. I do go to a place that serves alcoholic drinks, but I'm able to exercise self-restraint, and I know it's not safe to drink and drive, because having alcohol, even just one glass, has been shown that it can affect your judgment and your reaction speeds and things like that. So if I'm driving, I don't drink alcohol, even though you are allowed, I think, to have one drink. So I know that you don't have any alcohol. I don't give you any alcohol because you have lots of special dietary needs, and we know that different ingredients affect you. Do you worry about that, or is any comments on it or any views on it? I, A, I am, N, O, T, I am not. Ooh. I'll write that on there. I am not. I am not. T, H, E, the, S, O, R, T, I am not. The, you stopped it. Very good. Very well done. I am not the sort. Carry on. I am not the sort. O, F, of, P, E, R, S, O, after the O, N, I am not the sort of person. W, H, O, who, N, E, after the E, keep it going, E, D, S, who needs. A. L. Very good. C. A. L. C. O. H. Very nice. After the H, just finish the word. Alco must be whole. O-L. O. Touch the L. I am not the sort of person who needs alcohol. Now it could be finished or there could be more. You could tell me finished or more. Okay. I, E, X, P, E, C, T. I expect. I am not the sort of person who needs alcohol. I expect. T, H, A, T, I expect that. D, I expect that. Do you want to try with a pencil? Would that help? I expect that. D, well, after the D would be I. Expect D, I, F. Very good. D, I, F. Go on, finish it. D, I, lift your elbow. Lift your elbow. F, E, R, E, N. After the N would be T. Very nice. I expect that. Different. Go on, we'll just finish this little bit. I expect that different. Okay. T, Y, T, Y, P, E, S, different types. O, F, O, D, DS. So, DS wouldn't make sense. Touch the D again. D, DR, DR. That would make sense. I, go on, I can see you getting tired. We'll just finish it off. N, and go on here. Touch the N. N and go on, go on, go on. K and S, different kinds of drink, different types of drinks. W, O, U, where? After the U, go on. W, O, U, L, D, would, S, S, yeah, I've done the S. Next letter would be, I expect that different types of drinks would, and then we've done an S. U, I, T would suit. That's good. M and E, yes. B and E and T and T and E and R. I expect that different types of drinks would suit me better. I agree, and there are lots of non-alcoholic drinks that we can have a look at trying in the future. That was very nice, Chris. Thank you very much. You did really well because we haven't done this for a while, and you managed to keep to your pledge a lot of the time. I like that. Very good. Well done.